So whether you think he deserves jail time or not, it is a felony. And you have to think about what other defendant would get away with no jail time, given all that he's done and given what he's convicted of. It's remarkable, but I don't think he will. I mean, honestly, if I had to put my money on either side, I would guess he will not get jail time.
Verbal or life.
Welcome to Verbal on Life. My name is Noel, battling a mess, and we are at the possibility where Trump could go to jail. Like, this is the end of the trial. What's going to happen next? Let's take a look at a video where they talk about the possibility of Trump getting locked up. Crazy, crazy scenario.
What do you make of the news that we're going to have at least 2 presidential debates, Mark?
You want to know what I think? The cynic in me is that the reason that Trump agreed, and he agreed so readily to CNN, is that this is three-dimensional chess, and he knows he's going to get, or it's most likely he's going to get convicted in most state courts, in New York included. If you get convicted of multiple felonies, most judges will remand you immediately into custody pending sentencing. He's forestalling. He's going to dare this judge. You put me in custody, I've got a presidential debate. You have definitely interfered with the election. And here you go. I want it in June. I think that's exactly what's happening.
That's so interesting. I hadn't even considered that. Wait, could that happen? So if they wrap both cases by Monday or Tuesday, they have closing arguments maybe on Thursday because they're off on Wednesdays. The jury gets the case and we have a verdict potentially within 2 weeks from now. You're telling me the judge, if he's convicted, could immediately sentence him to go to jail?
So that's crazy. While he wait for his sentences, he's going to get handcuffed right there in the court and taken back to custody. Insane.
Ask Marcia if she can name 10 cases where somebody has been convicted of multiple felonies while being cited for contempt during the trial, and name a judge who has not remanded that person pending sentencing. It's almost virtually unheard of.
True.
Marcia?
Very, very true. With all that he's got going on, with all not just this case, but a judge looks at the entire picture of what this guy's got going on. And it's a lot of cases and there's a lot of jeopardy. He's also been cited for contempt a million times. He's shown that he has no regard for the law. And someone like that, if you don't remand them, you're incompetent. So I have to say,
this is making the court look bad, because what are you going to say when it's time to remand the president? Are you really going to do it? Because if you do handcuff the president or the former president, that man is going to win in a landslide. It's just going to be obvious to everybody that this is crazy. All of this just to keep the current president in power.
No, I've never seen a case where they haven't. However, this would be the one where it doesn't happen because it's Trump. And I think the judge will probably not remand him. He may take his passport and do the kind of interim things you can do to control someone, their movements, and prevent him.
Take his passport. The man is looking to be the president of this country. Where's he going? Crazy.
From leaving town, maybe even give him an ankle monitor. But I don't think that he's going to get remanded.
We could have
that would be so cool, man, to have a president with an ankle monitor debating.
Presidential debate with one of the presidential candidates wearing an ankle monitor.
Wait, let me give you one. Let me just add one little kind of twist to this. So you've got a presidential candidate who's being tried in the Supreme Court of New York, who I think the odds are his best day is a hung jury. I don't think there's any chance of an acquittal given the jury. And he potentially faces being remanded into custody. That is a real possibility. If he was anybody but Trump, he would be in custody. And you now have, as of yesterday, Hunter Biden scheduled not for one, but 2 criminal trials in June as well. So the son of the current president and the leading contender for president, both dealing with criminal jeopardy in the same single month.
I'm dead. I died. I'm done. I can't. Can you just explain, Marcia, I'll give this to you. Explain remand.
That means being taken into custody. So when they say remanded into custody, he is sent back to the custody of the jailer. Whether
To see the former president with handcuffs on, man, that's a t-shirt right there. That would be the greatest picture. And as a matter of fact, that should be the one that they wear at all the parades and everywhere just to promote Trump. We're dealing with a man up against the government. It's crazy.
whoever that is, county, state, whatever it is, federal. So,
Right. Marshall, why don't you
you
describe what happens in the courtroom when they read the guilty verdict? You'll see them take off the watch, take off the pen, take off the belt, put their hands behind their back, get cuffed, and walked in the back door.
Yeah.
In the
That's
courtroom?
In the courtroom.
In the courtroom, right into lockup. It happens every single time, absent some extenuating circumstance.
Yeah.
In
Yeah,
state
I mean,
court. In state
yeah.
court.
In state court.
New York is crazy. Oh man, we are breaking so many norms, and that's it. Nothing is normal. Everything they're doing here is insane. That he can't even walk out with his lawyers and Secret Service. They gotta all say, "Good luck."
That's right. I can't vouch for what happens in a federal trial, but this is a state trial. So, and I would imagine New York follows what we do, Mark. I mean, it's the same procedure.
They absolutely do. Federal court is more civilized. Generally, if you've been out on bail or on release, they will put the case over for sentencing. They'll order the PSR, the pre-sentence report, and you'll be allowed to stay out of custody pending sentencing. State court, completely different. You are
what about a court like this, where a case like this, where most legal experts I've read do not predict Trump will be sentenced to jail? But even under those, as somebody without a record, even under those circumstances, would the likelihood be if his name weren't Trump, he'd be remanded?
I don't know what legal experts you're talking to, but this judge has already threatened to put him in jail for saying the unbelievable statement that this jury is 95% Democrat.
And also, they already warned the judge, yo, don't lock him up, because if you lock him up, he's going to win the presidency. Let's see if he goes through with that promise or breaks that promise and just locks him up.
And it's a Democrat, you're coming to get me. That is what he has been found in contempt of. So, and when you're threatening jail over that, you get convicted of 34 felonies, he's going to go to jail.
Oh my God.
Usually,
go ahead,
usually that's absolutely true. By the way, he's also been cited for contempt for calling the judge corrupt, the clerk corrupt, insulting their families. I mean, he's made outrageously disgusting remarks, and any other defendant would have already been sitting in jail for contempt. So, look at how unusual, we call it in the law, sui generis, this is. It's Trump, and therefore none of the rules apply. So, I mean, the fact that he isn't sitting in jail right now is amazing. So I don't predict that he's going to get remanded. It's possible he won't get jail time. Although given all of his behavior and everything that they've seen, if the jury does convict, and I think it probably will, it would be really ridiculous not to give him some jail time. We have to think about what kind of precedent you're setting, because this is, people have talked a lot about the nature of these charges and how unusual they are and how they're trumped up misdemeanors into a felony, et cetera. But it really was an effort to affect the election. There's no question that was the motive. He didn't care otherwise. And I do think the evidence has shown that. So whether you think he deserves jail time or not, it is a felony. And you have to think about what other defendant would get away with no jail time, given all that he's done and given what he's convicted of. It's remarkable, but I don't think he will. I mean, honestly, if I had to put my money on either side, I would guess he will not get jail time.
We are living in some crazy times, because this is not a regular person. This is a former president currently running for presidency. But you know what? It would be a show. It would be a great spectacle if that judge says you got to go to jail. Whew, what do you think? Comment down below. Do you think they're going to lock him up? Man, we're watching like the greatest movie of all time, thanks to Trump. And then either way is wrong. The ankle monitor, bad. Locking him up in the court, bad. So, oh man, this is some crazy time we living in. And I had to report on that. All right. My name is Noel, better than a mess. See you guys in the next video. Peace. I hope they lock him up just so he can win. Trump 2024.
Verbal or life.